What's good, YouTube? Ben here. Welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you another TierMaker list video for 2024. This one's going to be Star Wars movies and TV shows. Let's get into this. Alright, so Star Wars is my favorite movie franchise of all time, and I have a warm place in my heart for a lot of different stuff when it comes to the TV shows. Now, in this tier list that this person created, they've also separated a lot of the Clone Wars and Rebels stuff. I don't know why, but that stuff I will be lumping together other than the Clone Wars movie, because it's a movie, not a show. But without any further ado, let's get into this. So, Star Wars Resistance, I'm going to put that in not good. Like, it's not scruffy looking Nerf herder level, but it's not great. To me, it was just a kiddified version of Star Wars that just didn't need to happen. I don't like the art style that much either. They took it from being like full CGI animation to like this weird cartoon crap, and I'm just not into it. The story and characters were bland. It was just not good. Mandalorian, I'm going to put in great. Mandalorian's a fantastic TV show. Like, I've enjoyed it all the way through. I believe they're making a season 4, which would be kind of cool, depending on what they do with it. But overall, I thought it was a general... Oh, there's more Mandalorian. Why have they separated it? Just go together. But I enjoyed my way all the way through it. Like, it's fantastic. If you've not seen Mandalorian, I'd recommend it. It's worth just getting Disney Plus for that alone, to be fair. Right, the Clone Wars. So this is going to be the TV show, not the movie. I'm going to throw in best. The Clone Wars was absolutely fantastic. Like, a great way to go through, you know, what happens during that time period between episodes 2 and 3. And to me, it also brings to light a lot of the characters and a lot of the character work that happens between those movies. Like, for example, you get to see General Grievous in his full form. You get to see Anakin's slow turn to the dark side. You also get to see Ahsoka, which is my favorite Star Wars character. I love Ahsoka. But you get to see all of that stuff in full form. You also, the most important part for me is you get to see the behavior and the love between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Whereas, obviously, you know, between episodes 2 and 3, you don't really get that. So you don't really get to see them bond as student and master, which I thought was great. But it shows everything you need to see before you see Revenge of the Sith, essentially. The Clone Wars movie, I'm going to put in okay. The Clone Wars movie is okay. It's just nothing better than okay. Like, it's not as good as the TV show, but it also did come before it. So it was like their first step into this era, which is fine. It's just okay. Like, it's sort of more like a TV special than it is a movie. Because I went to the cinema to watch that when it came out. And don't get me wrong, I didn't leave disappointed. It was just more... It felt like it was made more for TV than it was for the cinema, essentially. Solo's going in scruffy looking Nerf herder. That movie is just weird. Didn't need to happen. Don't get me wrong, having like an origin story for Han Solo, fine. I have no issue with it. But for me, the plot was a mess. Pacing was a mess. The character work was an absolute mess. The only part of that movie I really enjoyed was the weird Darth Maul cameo. But that's it. I didn't enjoy anything else. Rogue One goes in great. Rogue One's a great film. Like, it's a very different kind of Star Wars film as well, because the only lightsaber action you see is at the end with Darth Vader in the corridor scene. But overall, that movie's fantastic. Like, it's a nice one. So it's a prequel to A New Hope. It's a direct prequel, because what happens at the end of Rogue One is the start of A New Hope. So, direct prequel, and to me it ties in nicely. Like, the characters are all likable. The plot is great. Basically, it's just a good movie. Like, if you've not seen Rogue One, watch it. It's great. That would be... Is that Force Awakens? That looks like Force Awakens. Force Awakens is okay. Like, for me, it stuck a bit too close to home and played things very, very safe. It's a lot of people like give it like the whole name of being a carbon copy of A New Hope to some degree, and I agree with that to a capacity. Like, it follows a lot of the beats that A New Hope go through, My only major complaint with it is that I don't think Rey should have beaten Kylo Ren. Um, Considering that, you know, she's had no lightsaber training whatsoever. I know she has that weird stick thing, but it's not a lightsaber. Like, it has different weight, different dimensions, different proportions. She shouldn't have beat Kylo Ren so easily. Like, I'm sorry, but he's a fully trained force wielder alongside the fact that he's a Skywalker. I mean, come on. But overall, the movie itself is absolutely fine. The death of Han Solo hits hard because I love Han Solo, but you know, Star Wars: A New Hope. New Hope is good. I enjoy A New Hope. It is the start of the franchise, so it has to take its time for pacing. It's a very slow movie, especially because you're being introduced to a lot of the characters, and especially ones that will keep on being seen throughout that trilogy. But it's a good movie. You get to see your first glimpses of like Luke and Obi-Wan, Darth Vader, which seeing Darth Vader for the first time is awesome. Of course, it gets more awesome as it goes on. I've just seen the Clone Wars thing. Damn it. Um, but overall, like, good movie, slow pacing, good music, introduces you to the whole universe, which is nice. Revenge of the Sith is going in best. I love Revenge of the Sith. Out of the three prequel movies, it is the best one. Like, best for lightsaber duels, best for music, best for story, best for pacing, best for characters. Like, it includes a lot of different characters, which is nice. But it does tie up the prequel trilogy in a nice little bow. It has one of my favorite duels in the whole franchise, of course, which is Anakin Obi-Wan. Um, get to see the fact that Mace Windu could beat Palpatine. In fact, he did. It was only Anakin that basically gave Palpatine the advantage, which was nice. Overall, solid movie. Attack of the Clones, I'm going to put in good. I like Attack of the Clones. It's a good movie. It's just a, it's hard, right? It would rank higher for me if it wasn't for all the cringy love stuff between Anakin and Padme. The thing with George Lucas is he's a great writer when it comes to certain things. It's just certain things he is not good at writing. That's love stuff. He can't do love at all. So, George, you're probably never going to see this, but if you do, never write love stuff again. It's not good. However, the rest of the movie is absolutely fine. The Battle of Geonosis is great. In fact, the whole Geonosis arc in it is just fantastic. Of course, the duel at the end between Obi-Wan and Dooku, then Anakin and then Dooku, and then Yoda and Dooku is top notch. Like, great choreography, great everything about that. The story leading up to everything in that is absolutely fine as well. My favorite scene in the movie, of course, is where Anakin embraces the dark side temporarily when he takes out the Tusken Raiders, which is cool. But overall, like, it's a good movie. It's just the love stuff kind of sucks. That's the Rise of Skywalker. That's scruffy looking nerf herder. I have never come out of the cinema so depressed in my life. Like, that movie is abysmal. Like, that movie is what I like to call the definition of plot convenience. Like, anything that could be convenient to the plot happens in that movie. Like, for example, C3PO, who can't read Sith dialect, can be reprogrammed to read Sith dialect by a non-Sith, which does not make sense. The fact that the movie also jumps from point to point to point to point to point with no breathing room, like, to me, it feels like it could have been a little bit better if you split it into two movies. Like, if you had part one and then part two. Because, oh my god, you're jumping around every 5 seconds. And I'm a massive Star Wars nerd. Even I had a hard time keeping up with what was going on. Like, it just makes no sense. Bringing Emperor Palpatine back is fine because it happens in the comics, but the way they brought him back is terrible. Like, it just does. He just comes back. There's no knowledge behind how he returned. You understand that he's in a clone body, fine. But again, give me some reason as to why that happened, because it's explained in the comics. It isn't explained in that. It's just a terrible movie. It's not good whatsoever. Like, legit, I'm hoping that the next trilogy of Star Wars movies will actually be a lot better, because the sequel trilogy is just not great. Not overall. Star Wars Last Jedi, speaking of the sequel trilogy, I'm gonna put it in okay. Like, to me, the movie itself is fine. I don't take any major issues with it, other than the whole Cantabite section. You can cut that out, and it would still be an okay movie. The Cantabite section just does not need to be there. It takes way too long. It is kind of pointless. Other than, of course, having to go get the code breaker. But even then, it still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it just doesn't. But the rest of the action's fine. I love the fact that Kylo Ren is the one who kills Snoke and not Rey, because it gives Kylo a bit more character. It's like, oh crap, okay, he was able to trick him, which I enjoy that. I enjoy the fact he was able to trick Snoke into taking him out, which is nice. The whole fight with the Praetorian Guards, or whatever you want to call them, is okay. I mean, it's a bit strange, especially when you do a full analysis of it, because you can find one of the guys just twirling off camera, which is weird. The choreography is questionable, but the fight is okay. Overall, it's an okay movie. It's just nothing more than okay. Empire Strikes Back is going in best. This is my favorite movie of all time. I love Empire Strikes Back. Everything about it is great. The music, the pacing, the character work, the epic duel between Luke and Vader at the end. I know that a lot of people would consider the one in Return of the Jedi more iconic, but to me, that's the iconic one. It's just fantastic. Like, everything about the movie, from the start of it at Hoth, the whole battle, between meeting Yoda. Jesus, someone's loud. I hope that didn't come through on mic. Everything about it is just great. Episode 1, Phantom Menace, I would put in great. I think it's a great movie. I mean, despite the fact that no one understands the whole politics system of the thing yet, because it's not been really divulged, you learn a lot more about Republic politics in the Clone Wars, to be fair. But overall, the movie itself is fine. I take no real issue with it. Like, it's a good origin story for Anakin. You get to see Obi-Wan in his younger age, you know, being very inexperienced and very obnoxious quite early on. Of course, you see Darth Maul with his epic double-bladed lightsaber, and then, of course, the Duel of the Fates, which is amazing. Just a good movie. Right, Star Wars Rebels again, TV show. I'm going to lump all the Rebel stuff together. So Rebels, I would put in great. Rebels is a really good TV show. It's a bit misunderstood, which is unfortunate, because Rebels itself it's just a nice little fun TV show that shows you a bit of more of life after the Empire takes over. Of course, you've got your Jedi in that, which is at first just Kanan and then Ezra, and then of course Ahsoka comes into it, along with the Inquisitors, which is great. You learn more about them. But it's a fun little TV show that has a nice little end to it. Of course, it's now technically not ended because Ezra's alive, thanks to the Ahsoka series. But it's a good little series, shows you more about the Empire life and stuff like that, which is cool. Bad Batch. I loved Bad Batch. I thought Bad Batch was great. Like, I'll put it in best tier. Like, I thought it was fantastic. You know, a group of renegade clones who have special abilities, who need to protect Omega, who is a female clone. Like, the fact that you also get a bunch of cameos in it, like Ventress, you've got Rex. I don't know, like, there's something about the Bad Batch show that I really did enjoy, and I'm glad it got multiple seasons and just didn't get lumbered with one season, because one season wouldn't have been enough. Like, it's just too fun. Star Wars Visions goes in, like, Scruffy Knocking Laugh. I never saw the point of that. It was almost like Marvel's What If, but terrible. It just didn't make any sense. That's all I've got to say about it, really. That's Resistance. That goes there. Book of Boba Fett. I'm gonna put Book of Boba Fett in good. I thought it was good, but it's nothing more than good. Like, I don't know. Like, I love seeing Boba Fett in action. Like, Boba Fett's a cool character, and I love seeing that sort of shift from being just a no-talking sort of badass to being like a well-spoken, you know, sympathizer, if that makes sense. Because, like, he wants to protect the people of Mos Espa. Like, he doesn't want to rule them as a tyrannical ruler like Jabba the Hutt, or I can't remember his bloody name now for the life of me, dude with the thing around his neck. It's a Bib Fortuna, that's it. Like, he doesn't want to rule them tyrannically like that. But he does have a lot of obstacles to come across, of course. Seeing Cad Bane again is fantastic. And I thought Cad Bane was done right in that, to be fair. Like, it was very Cad Bane. And finally, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, I'm going to put in best. It's a fantastic movie. It's a nice little culmination of the entire the original trilogy. Of course, you get to see Vader's redemption. Yoda dies, which is very, very sad. But it's just a nice little cherry on top of the cake and a nice little tied up bow for the end of the original trilogy. But yeah, this is going to be my tier list for Star Wars movies in 2024. Don't forget, if you want to see more like this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on notifications to feature on my socials. Those are linked down below. And don't forget, you can also support the channel further by becoming a channel member from as little as 99 pence per month. Don't forget, I do live stream. When I go live here on YouTube and over on Twitch and on TikTok all at the same time. My streams here on YouTube are more for the shorts form feeds and more for mobile. But if you want to catch the exact same streams at the exact same time in full 1080p, then go ahead and join me on Twitch and TikTok. Those links are down below. And don't forget, I also make exclusive video content on TikTok.